Okay, it might be going again. I am back, but it's not showing. It's not showing my hands, is it? Let me go over there and check. You've got my face, but no overhead, right? All right, looks like I'm back. I'm really sorry about that, YouTube people. I don't know what happened. I feel like I need to switch to third hook because the project looks tight, but it's not curling at all. So give it a shot. Yes, YouTube is back. YouTube is back. Thanks for hanging in there with me, people. I am sorry. I'm so awkward. I am so awkward. It's painful to myself. Like watching my observer self watching me sometimes is like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you doing, Betty? My name's not even Betty. It's the sound is better on TikTok. Let me try turning it up because people have been complaining about my sound. Mic, let me see. Okay, it's Yeti stereo microphone. So let me just turn it up a little bit. Oops, that's turning it down. How about that? Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I think it's about time for me to go get my nails done again, too. I had let my nails grow out. Okay, now I'm on round 6. It's the 6-day star blanket. Great. Thank you, Beth. Mitchie says, oh my God, I started a star blanket last year with your videos and I'm just starting it again. Hopefully I can finish it this time. Thank you for what. Aw, you guys are so great. Well, I'm going to be live a bunch this month. Betty, you're left-handed. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Why is it doing that? There we go. Ooh, look at me doing technology. Technology. Oh, Lord, help me. Five double crochet in this peak. Andrew's in both places. All right. You guys are great. Give me some aromatherapy. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. I know. Dolls. Let me get back to Dolls, who says, I feel like I need to switch to third hook because the project looks tight, but it's not curling at all. So let me I just want to talk about the hook size in crochet. My friend Jacqueline of Jack of Yarns, she made a great video the other day about using a finer weight yarn and getting that beautiful drape like you get in a knitted garment. And she was talking about using lighter weight yarns for crochet. And listen, let me tell you, when the label says, yarn label says, use X hook size, that is a suggestion. And then, when I commented on her video, she said, and I just love this, I think most things in crochet are suggestions. And it's so true. Like, the hook is a suggestion. My advice to you is a suggestion. If you think your work is too tight and you should go up a hook size, then go up a hook size. I think I was saying earlier on the call, I wrote an article that I published today about using different, cake yarn or stash yarn or whatever with your 6-day project. And I say in the article, don't combine different weights of yarn. And then somebody came on tonight and said, I want to try combining different weights for different textures. And I'm like, I don't recommend it, but it never fails. As soon as I say I don't recommend it, somebody does it and they do it beautifully. So I think creativity is about, breaking the rules. It's like when I say fudge intelligently, it's like knowing how to break the rules. If I'm going to use different weights of yarn in a project, how am I going to make that work? Well, I'm going to have to probably use different hook sizes, or, maybe hold 2 of them together or something like that. But just because I'm saying I don't recommend it doesn't mean, no, don't do it. Like, give it a shot, but do it intelligently and know you're going to have challenges with that. I don't know. It's called being creative. Amy says, I'm going to try a controlled color one in Steelers colors. Oh, that'll be cool. I think I will ignore that suggestion just to see how it turns out. There you go. If you look at, who a creator on TikTok I really love is Say Less Studios. She combines different yarns all the time, and I just admire her for it. I think it's one of those things I'm kind of afraid to do because I feel like it won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in the peak. I'm a rebel. There you go. I'm not going to listen to my crochet mama. Don't tell me what to do. This is the 6-day star blanket. I just made one from your videos. How can I show you? Oh, aren't you sweet? I have a whole community on Facebook where you can show off your work, or you can make a TikTok and tag me, or you could post it on Instagram and tag me. Yeah, usually when people tag me on Instagram, I share it to my stories. Can you recommend any hooks to help with wrist pain? I'm halfway through a blanket but had to stop. Okay. I think your choice of hook is going to be, it's a very personal decision. I really happen to love the Furls Odyssey. I got hooked on them back in 2020 when they first came out. DM on Instagram. Don't just DM it. Just post it so everybody can see, and I'll share it. I like these, but I definitely think an ergonomic hook is an absolute must if you crochet a lot and you're having wrist pain. So what is causing the wrist pain? are you sure it's the hook? How do you hold your hook? How do you, I mean, one thing that I do is that now we're talking about crocheting somatically. Okay. So, I have a lot of things that I do to like protect my body when I'm crocheting, but one thing for me, like it's important to have a hook that where I can relax my hand. So you have to find the hook where you can relax your hand. All right. And then, so when you crochet, you have a lot of this kind of wrist action, right? Like that. And so what I do is I use my fingers a lot and I roll my hook. So rolling your hook to get that twist, to grab the yarn and pull it through, is going to help you minimize the wrist action. Okay, so that's going to help. And then, so another thing would be like not leaning on something. So I have these gel pads that because I'm not leaning my wrist, but this part of my arm here ends up on this table. So I have these gel pads here that I use so I don't end up hurting myself. So there's that. Okay. Your body has to be supported when you're working. So I would just, if I were you and you are having pain while you crochet, I would, first of all, I would stop until it goes away. If you're having any kind of tingling or shooting pain, I would see a doctor. But I would shop around and I would try all the hooks. I would try all the hooks. My username almost everywhere is Baked Beans 13, so Bean kind of became my nickname too. I had wrist injuries to my thumbs that caused my pain. I'm 70 years old and recommend taking a break. Go wash dishes. With the hot water, with water as hot as you can stand. Oh, a wax dip. Those are so nice. I just started a new star blanket. Your videos are a savior. Thank you so much. I have kind of a routine, some routine practices that I do to kind of, because I crochet a lot, right? And it's my livelihood. I find what hurts my hands more than crochet is this trackpad when I'm doing a lot of stuff on here. And then I start to get pain in my fingers and also scrolling with my thumbs. That also hurts, but I don't even have my face blaster in here. I use a fascia tool. I'll go get it and show it to you guys at the end of this round. I have a fascia tool. It's Ashley Black's face blaster. It's actually supposed to be for your face. And I massage my hands with that. I stretch my hands often. But when I am resting, like let's say I'm taking a little nap or meditating or sleeping at night, I have those infrared healing pads. I have the kind that's like a mitt that you put your hand into, and it just has the infrared light. It's light therapy, so it has the light elements on one side, and I do one side and then I flip it over and I do the bottom of my hand. You can only do it for like an hour a day. You can't do it for like hours and hours and hours. And so I do both hands. And that helps a lot with inflammation, and that helps with any kind of pain that you have. And the other thing I use are those Phyten dots, Phiten dots. And I'll see if I can tag them on the live. But I have an Amazon influencer storefront called Somatic Crochet, where you can find all the different products and things that I recommend for hand care. If you do, yes, I'll definitely take a look at it. I will definitely look at on Instagram. I would love for you to share it publicly so we can all see it, or come and join my Facebook group and you can share it there, and then everybody can see it and we will cheer you on. We love doing that. Any shoulder, lower neck advice? Yes, I do. Let me just answer a couple more. Sierra says, I just started a new, I read that one already. Bean, I swear by my clover hooks. Yeah, so what the hook that's right for me might not be right for you, because I love these odysseys, and I have had a number of people say try the metal streamlines because I like the weight. There's something about the weight that makes it easy for me to relax my hand. It's like the hook is doing the work for me. But I know a lot of people are like, they feel too heavy and that's hard to hold. But for me, it makes it easier to hold. And then these metal, they sent me some of these metal streamlines and they're lovely. They don't feel quite the same to me as the Odyssey. I prefer the Odyssey. And then there was a new line of hooks that I bought some and I did try them, but I'm not sure where they are at the moment. They're called Stellar Handicraft. So there was another ergonomic hook on the market, and I would just try them all until you find the one that's right for you. And don't let anybody tell you that, there's one right hook or one right way. And the right hook for you should help you relax your hand. I love your 60 star blanket. Literally everyone is getting one for Christmas. We used to work in a factory. We did a lot of repetitive movements in our hands and fingers. We did finger exercises. Yes, stretching your hands and doing some little stretches. So I have a whole routine, okay? And I have a whole, actually, I have a whole practice that I teach, and I hold somatic crochet meetings like once a month in my membership community. They're open to the public. So if you're interested in that, you can come and join me in my somatic meetings every week, and we talk about this stuff. And I do exercises and I do stretches and I do like a little yoga for knitters and crocheters and breathing. And we also talk about things like over gifting and what happens when you lose your crojo, and how to use self-care, how to use crochet as your self-care practice and things like that. Because a lot of people are crocheting for anxiety, depression, as a way to be more creative in their lives. And so there's definitely a lot of emotional and energetic things that go into it. Okay. I have tried so many hooks and I always go back to the Susan Bates. That's how I am about these Odysseys. I'm just so upset that they are no more. But I'm well stocked. Okay. Somebody asked a question about neck and shoulders. I definitely recommend that you check your posture and get one of those Volare pillows for when you're sitting in your chair or on your bed and crocheting, or having a well supported little nest to crochet in, where your arms and your back can be straight, your neck can be straight, and put a pillow behind your head and encourage yourself to sit up straight and not to lean over like that. And then put a pillow or something on your lap so that your shoulders can be, your work can be in front of you and your shoulders can be relaxed and they're not holding anything up. Everything should be supported so that you can relaxed and supported as much as possible. And then just generally, I used to teach yoga. And so this was before crochet was my my livelihood, I taught yoga, and I would always make sure that my class at some point, my favorite form of yoga to teach is restorative yoga. And that's the one where you're positioned in like relaxed restorative postures, and you just meditate in these postures. But um, at least once a day, and I usually do this when I go to bed at night, I lay down, I put pillows on so that my shoulders and arms can open up, and I'm kind of like in an arched position, and my head is back. If your neck is healthy, for you to do that. But set yourself up, over some pillows and lay back over them, or like an exercise ball, and then just let yourself like relax and release and allow your body to open up. Don't stretch and push it. Just lie there and allow yourself to relax and let your muscles open up in the shoulders and neck. This is the Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus Degradé, I believe it's pronounced. Israeli Mako cotton. Okay. You have to get this from your local yarn store, Juniper Moon Farm. Or you can probably buy it online. Yes, and breath work. Yeah, I do breath work in my meetings. And a lot of us are using crochet and art crafting as, like a wellness practice. And so you don't want to be sitting there in your wellness practice holding your breath and being all tensed up, because like you're doing this to to feel better from being stressed out or whatever. But so you want to just intentionally be relaxing and breathing. You want it to be meditative and not dissociative. It may take you some time to get used to a new hook, yes, but it should feel good, when you pick it up. It should feel good. But that's why and this is, crocheters are cheap. We are cheap. And people, just don't want to spend a lot of money on things. But when it's your body, why compromise? Why would you want to compromise your body? Like, why would you crochet if you're going to be crocheting for hours and hours a day? Does it matter if that hook costs $2 or $40? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think there's a reason to be cheap where that's concerned. We spend like $10, $12 on a coffee, for crying out loud. I just got a boppy pillow on Facebook Marketplace and got those lazy glasses. One thing I think it's helpful to learn how to do is not have to look at your crochet all the time. And I don't know. I think I find it, I don't know. I find it easy to just keep my head straight and not look down because I wear progressive lenses. So maybe that's to my benefit. Jillian, I have to use heat pads on my ankle for my CRPS. I made them. Heat is good for pain. I make rice bags for the microwave, and I throw the ones I made as pattern weights. Heat and catching is good. Okay. Yes, they're similar to progressives for folks who don't have them. I've never tried them. I recommended them to one person, but I don't like recommending things that I haven't tried if I don't, if I don't really know. But I don't think there's any really good workaround for posture, It's the 6-day star blanket. And this colorway is called Senna Sands. Senna Sandcastle. Senna Sandcastle. Seeing that lately. So why do I do? What do you mean? Seeing, what do you mean? Oh. What you talking about, girl? What do? You mean you want to join Star Blanket September? Go to the link in my bio and sign up. Hey, Sabrosa's Kitchen. Hi. As in, I have to finish in 6 days. No, you don't have to. But you can. It's entirely possible. Thank you so much. Aw. I have my yoga teacher voice. My husband asked me to make a blanket for his friend that just got married yesterday. Oh, that's nice. That's very sweet. You know, when your husband asks you to make something for someone, he really cares about those people. And he's proud of what you do. He's proud of your crochet. I know these colors are amazing, right? The person that I work with at Knitting Fever, his name is Anthony. I asked him, I said, I'm going to do, I do this Star Blanket September where I make star blankets all month long. And what I'd like to do a star blanket for you guys. And what yarn would you like me to do it in? And he suggested several different things, and this was one of them. And so I was like, all right, I'll try this one. That looks nice. And they sent it right over, and here I am. And it was a really good choice. Yes, it flows really nicely. It doesn't have those abrupt color changes. Got a carrot cake and rainbow sprinkle, but I don't know if it will be too abrupt or not. I think the carrot cakes make beautiful 6-day stars. I would just control it for like the center 8 rounds. If it tries to change in the middle of the round, I would just cut it and restart the next color. At the, like cut it at the end of the round and then start the next color just for the center, like 8 rounds. And then after that, it'll be fine. You won't be able to tell. Okay, now I'm on round 2. So I think now I've been thinking about this, and now somebody's saying it's flowing, as just kind of brought me to the conclusion that I think I'm going to start the next. I hate working from the outside of a ball of yarn, but I think I'm going to start the second one from the outside on the white and then work it back into the rust and then go to the rust out. I mean, the YouTube looks like it's inverted to me. That's probably why why Restream shut it down. But to me, it looks inverted. So it's still, I use multiple different types of software for this. So when this is over, I'll upload the recording so people can watch it back, and you can see you can see all of it. You can see the part where I was freaking out, the part where, it shut off and I was freaking out and all that. You'll love it. I'll be there in all my awkwardness. Can you explain again about the way you're using the cakes? I'm not sure I understand. Okay, so this cake starts with they all start with this dark rust, and they go out through the peach and then the yellow to the it's like a peachy white. And so rather than going from white back to this, I'm going to start on the outside where it's white so that the colors reverse. My daughter keeps swiping the screen. Aw. For me, YouTube. Yeah, I think I just probably don't have a good connection tonight, and that's probably why it kicked me out the first time. So I'm sorry about that. It's Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus Degradé. At least I believe that's the way it's pronounced. It's the 6-day star blanket. As soon as you finish with the first skein, are you planning on starting on the white on the other? Yes, I do think I'm going to do that. I think it'll be nice. Of course, if I end up not liking it, I can rip it out and redo. But yeah, I think that would really be nice with this yarn because it flows so beautifully. It's the 6-day star blanket. I'm almost done my 6-day star blanket. Tomorrow is day 6. All right. It can definitely be done. I'm almost to the end of this skein. I'm not even sure I'm going to make it around to the beginning of the round. It's starting to get big. It's really pretty. I'm thinking that 3 of these would be enough for a baby blanket. I'm just guessing, just based off of the first, how far I got on my first skein. Marissa Brown says, I finished my first repeat. Good for you. I could actually finish it today, but I know I need to give my hands a rest. Good for you. I went through a whole ball of yarn today. Oh my goodness. Yes, do give your hands a rest. And then when I get to the end of this ball of yarn, I'm going to rest and I'm going to grab my my massage tool for my hands, and I'm going to show you all what I do to take care of my hands. One of my triggers to I do have my little timer here. Usually I set a timer for 60 minutes. These little cube timers, and I have these in my Amazon store. These little cube timers are great because you don't have to open your phone to set the timer. You just set it, turn it to the time, and it starts. And so I use those to remind myself to get up. When it goes off, I get up out of my chair. At the end of the ball, I stop, I rest, I massage my hands, I get up. Oh my gosh, I finished my Supernova Ridgy Didge. I love it. That one is so cool. I got to get that pattern out because a lot of people are wanting to do that one, and all we have for it is a video. I found them in the bullseye section at Target. Oh wow, that's cool. But yeah, after a long crochet session where you've done a whole ball of yarn in one day, I would definitely have an aftercare routine. I would definitely be, like massaging my hands, using my restorative yoga practice to, like let my shoulders relax and stretch my back, and, use my infrared healing mitts on my hands. All of that. Uh-oh. Something's wrong. I did 6 in the peak down here. So I have an extra stitch. So look, I'm not opposed to fudging. Just if you're going to fudge a mistake, know why you're doing it and know what went wrong. Okay? Don't just self-correct. So when I have a mistake like that, I don't like to fudge right at the top. I go back down to the bottom because I feel like it's less noticeable. So I have to skip 3 because I have an extra stitch 2 rows down. It's on my TikTok if you ever want to see. It's amazing. Oh, did you tag me? If you tag me, I'll get the notification, and I always go look at them. If you tag me on TikTok in your blankets, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to like it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to do all those things. I'm going to repost it. Yeah, tag me so I can repost it for you. Almost to the end of this skein. I might make it to the end of the round. I'm not sure. Goodness, this yarn is pretty. Uh-oh. There's a little knot right there. So when I have a knot, I treat it like a new join. Thank you so much, Ava. Okay, I have this much left. There. Can you show us one of your mugs, please? Yes, I'll show you my mugs. They're full of hooks. This one says, just let me crochet. You put your coffee in it. I don't know. I just was feeling like that day I just wanted to be left alone to crochet. And this one has the star blanket on it, and it says, only in darkness can the stars come out. This one's the 6-day man blanket. It doesn't say anything, but it has the beautiful man blanket on it. Whoops. And this one is my favorite. It says you're muted. This is the one you need for your Zoom call. When people are muted, somebody's muted and they don't know they're muted. And then you could just pick up the coffee mug and just take a sip out of it and tell them that they're muted. I think that's the cheekiest one. Thank you, Andrew. You're so cute. What do I do with the knot? I cut it out and I weave in the ends. I just cut it. And I weave it in. I don't tie any knots in my work unless it's an emergency. The only time I would tie a knot would be if I was like repairing something that like got snagged and there wasn't enough yarn to like weave it in and secure it. And then I would, tie it. I would tie it up. But I don't believe in knots. This is the massage oil that I use when my hands hurt. But I don't really like to use it when I'm working on a project because it's too much. So if I put this on my hands, it's going to get all over this. So this is what I use when I'm actually working on something, is this lymphatic massage oil. And I found out about this when I was, I think it came up on my Amazon because I had liposuction for my lipedema. And so it came up as, a suggested product because I was buying like compression garments and things like that people that have had liposuction purchase on Amazon. And so I think it's like when you see it on Amazon, it has a bunch of like, pictures of people like that look like they just had liposuction. So it's weird, but the reason I like it is because it's not super oily and it absorbs into the skin, and then I can get right back to crocheting. All right, when I use this. And then usually I would take my watch off before I did this so that I could also work on my wrists and forearms. Okay. This is called a fascia blaster, and it's from Ashley Black. And again, this is another thing that's like, it's not advertised for stuff like this. It's advertised for like, you know, people that want to attack their cellulite and get rid of their cellulite. But you can see I have something going on. So the fascia is the connective tissue in your body, and it can get kind of like stuck together. So when you go over it like that and it turns red, it's bringing blood flow to that area, and it's breaking up the adhesions. So I can, like, everywhere that it's turning red like that is where my hands are sore. I have a lot of pain right now on this like middle finger because of the trackpad, all the trackpad that I've been doing. So it's not actually from crochet, but it's from being on the computer too much. So I use this. This is actually a thing that's supposed to like help you shape your jawline. But I use it on my hands and on my arms, my wrists. And I am not, you know, putting a lot of pressure. I'm just going light over the skin, because your lymphatics are right under your skin. So if you have swelling and puffiness, like you can see my hands are always puffy, then you want the fluid to go up and out. Your lymphatics are going to take it up and out. Your lymphatics drain up here by your neck, so it has to go up into your armpit and up into your neck. Okay, so your lymphatics go up that way, and they're right under the skin, and they don't need a lot of pressure. I have so much sun damage on my arms. It doesn't need a lot of pressure to get that going. Like you can see where it's turning red, it's bringing blood flow to the surface. So you don't need to go really hard on this, but it is really good for your lymphatics to use something like this on your hands. And there's also like, you could use like a gua sha tool, or you could just use, just like very light pressure with your hands, and to get the fluid going out of your fingers. Okay, so this is what I use for my wrists and hands and things to keep them healthy. It's easier to, this is my dominant hand, so it's easier to like just, it's like light and brisk right on the surface. I'm getting like, the red right in that same area over my knuckle, my fingers. This hand doesn't hurt as much because it's not the one that does the trackpad. My watch is kind of in the way, but normally I would take my watch off. I just don't feel like it. Okay, so that's like one self-care practice that I have. And then after, I have all this stuff sitting like by my chair in the living room where I relax and watch TV and crochet and stuff like that. And so I would maybe at the end of like, after my lives and stuff, then I go and I take care of my hands. I have an aftercare practice. It's part of my routine. I'm a crochet athlete. I do my cool down. I take it seriously. But yeah, one thing I don't recommend is that you just take a compression glove and slap that on and hope for the best. And I don't have anything against compression gloves. I just think that they should be worn when you're not crocheting to help you heal. and help, you know, help you recover and heal. One of my favorite stretches for your thumb is, and those tendons, is to put your thumb over top of your fingers and then stretch your hand down so you get like a stretch over the top. Oh, I see somebody was, how many skeins total will you use and how big will it be? I'm thinking 3 skeins might be enough for a nice baby blanket. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep going, if I'm going to stop at 3 and just make a baby blanket. I have 6. I asked for 6 of them. So, okay. And look, when you all see me pulling my fingers back that far, like I hyper. So if your fingers don't go back that far, don't pull them back that far. Just go gentle. You should never go beyond a 7. Okay, 7. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, a 7 of discomfort and pain would be the highest you would ever go when stretching. Okay, there's no need to go past that. So I'm stretching my wrist and I'm stretching my fingers. Okay, straightening my elbow. And I'm really feeling it in that area where I've been working and being on the computer a lot. So I can just tell that I'm not taking care of that enough. I'm overworking it and I'm not taking care of it. And I spent like an hour today in that infrared light therapy mitt. Okay, and then your thumb. So if you put your hand up, like palm up, and then take the other hand underneath and grab your thumb like you're, like milking a cow, I guess. I've never milked a cow, but and then straighten your elbows out. Okay. And just remember, I'm hypermobile. So if yours doesn't go that far, then don't force it out. Okay. Just gentle. 7. No higher than a 7 of discomfort. Okay. Did you all put your crochet down? Are you doing the exercises with me? Or did you just keep crocheting and watch and think, oh, that's nice? I hope you all put your crochet down and you're doing your hand exercises. I'm not getting any comments, so I hope that means you're exercising, that you put your crochet down. I would be the person that wouldn't put my crochet down. I'm just saying. I would keep crocheting. But no, this is really good for you, okay? And then shoulder rolls. Don't forget the shoulder rolls. Okay, I don't know how long that took. I wasn't timing it. So now, let's see, it's 8:51. I've been here for almost 2 hours. So let me set it for 30 minutes because I've already been on here a long time. I put that there. Let's get back to work. See, now I'm feeling like I could do a lot more. Even though it seems counterintuitive, to stop and take a break, that's going to help me crochet longer, but it will. And my, my oil on my hands is, like pretty well soaked in by now. So I don't feel like I'm getting it all over this beautiful cotton. I'm on round 3. So on round 3, I love this row. It's very easy because you have 3, 3, 3 in every peak. You have 3 double crochet in every space. The space before and after the cluster, you have a cluster. It's just so easy to remember. I don't feel like that's really enough to weave in. I always leave like 4 to 6 inches. Okay, so the way that I do it, I pull my new yarn through the last 2 loops of the last stitch of the old yarn. Okay, so I have just my last pull through to do. So this, what I was explaining before is I'm going to start this one on the outside. So I'm going to start with the white and I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let the colors go the other way. Okay, and then I pull this one through and then I have my 2 tails. This is my working yarn and these are my tails. And I'm going to take the tails and just flip them up over the working yarn and hold them to the back and then work my next stitch. Okay, and that just kind of anchors them in place so that I don't have like a gap in my work as I'm working. I don't have to tie a knot or do anything. I'm just going to leave it there until my project is done, and then I'll weave it in. I'll weave both ends in. It's not necessary. I need a yarn bowl. It's not necessary to tie a knot. I don't like pulling from the outside. I've probably mentioned that more than once. starting to yawn. It's been a weird live. It's been a weird day. Anyone else feeling weird? It's quiet out here again. I mean, it's that kind of quiet where all the tourists have gone home and then you have the random weirdo screaming in the background. I'm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. My neighborhood is like a tourist neighborhood. A lot of the homes are not lived in full all year round. So now it'll be just us locals. Hey, Rhode Island. Yeah, it's really nice here. I love it. I had been coming down here, for vacations for, I don't know, 30 years. And then when my kids left home, I decided to move where I could be at the beach every day. I really love it here. I can hear the ocean from my house. I can leave my windows open and hear the ocean. It's wonderful. The tourists don't really bother me, to be honest. They're all like happy and lighthearted mostly when they're here. It's windy today. I think it was the right choice to start with the outside, with the outside of the skein and match up the colors. I can't imagine what it would look like having gone the other way. I really love just the subtle peachy tint to this lightest shade here. It's not really white. I'm calling it white, but it's not really white. It's a very faint peach. Or maybe I just think it is. But it's very pretty. Yes, there is a very slight pinkish tone. Like, even during the really busy season of our summers here, it it's still, it's not like a really super crowded beach town. 4th of July, I mean, there's a lot of people here. The worst thing about it is there's only, like the Outer Banks is like a big sandbar, so there's only one road. It's a strip, narrow strip of land out in the ocean, and there's only one road up and down and in and out of here, and that road can get really backed up. It's very slow moving, And when on days when people are coming and going and, checking in, checking out, there can be a lot of traffic, but it's very predictable. So if you're local, you just plan your life around it. It's not that hard. It doesn't really bother me that much. Okay, I have a confession to make, and that is that I don't always join with a slip stitch and then chain up and single crochet in the same stitch like the pattern says to do. I just join with my first single crochet. But I don't want to change the pattern, and I don't want to tell people to do that because the newbies will get confused. So if you're not a newbie and you understand what I just said, on the single crochet rounds 4 and 7, you don't really have to join with the slip stitch. Okay, you can just join with your first single crochet. I'm not getting any comments from YouTube. I bet people got sick of watching that stream. Because to me, it's backwards. It looks backwards where I'm watching it, so I don't know. Somebody said it was backwards or I was left-handed. I don't really know what's going on over there. Can you guys hear the tourists walking by? Or the people? We have some screamers here this week. Sometimes you get screamers. Sometimes the screamers are not tourists. I was commenting on YouTube, so I don't think I'm getting comments. I don't think you've been muted. I just think the stream is wacky. Yeah. No, I see your was the house that went in the ocean that hurt. Okay, I see your comments over there, but they're not coming through on my other software. Usually they come through and I get the little bloop, bloop. I hear them, but I'm not hearing them. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, the last thing I saw was, can you explain again about the way you're using the cakes? That's what I was thinking. Finish my first repeat. Yes. Oops, I joined in the middle of the exercises, but I'm putting it down now. I do both knot and weave in. I think I would have caked the yarn, so when crocheting it would have center pulled the outer color of the ball. It's 2 a.m. I'm not feeling tired. Was the house that went in the ocean during the hurricane? Yeah, the houses that are falling into the ocean are down in like Hatteras, which is about 2 hours from me, but those houses are on the Outer Banks. There is a house up near me. I'm closer to the 4x4 area of the beach, so the Outer Banks has, that one road that goes up and down goes all the way down the Outer Banks and NC12. And up where I live, the road, it comes to an end up here, getting close, up here north near me. And then beyond that, the people that live beyond the end of the road, those homes in that area is only accessible by 4-wheel drive, with a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Okay, so it's called the 4x4. They call it the 4x4 beach. So there's a house up there that is, just one good hurricane away from falling down. And I don't know why they don't take it down before it falls down. I think it's been condemned. I think that, it's that I think it's been kind of stripped down, but they're just going to let it fall. That's my understanding. But it's too far out into the water at this point. And those houses weren't, I see a lot. I see when people post it on Facebook and the things that people say, it was so irresponsible to build that house out in the water like that. Those houses were not built in the water. Those were beach houses that were built behind the dunes. They were behind dunes at one point. And the weather and the oceans and the storm have eroded the beach and the land. So a lot of homes down there have been moved. They have a service that moves houses and moves them back when it erodes like that. But there's nothing they can do. It's eroding. And unfortunately, a lot of the houses down here aren't owned by local people who live in those houses and care about them. They're just investment properties, and they rent them out, and they get their money out of them, and then they don't care, and they just let them go. And it's sad. They leave it for other people to clean up. We have some cliff top houses, and some of those went a few years ago, but people don't realize, no, when they were built, they weren't out in the middle of the water like that. Yeah, so my house that I live in is in the third row. So there's a whole street between me and the ocean. So there are 2 rows of houses in between me and the ocean, plus dunes. And the first year that I lived here, we had a really bad nor'easter that came through, and it lasted about a week. And I had not been here for very long, just months. It was my first spring here. It was in the spring. And I was flabbergasted by what happened to the beach and the erosion from that storm, and the access steps and the access points that were taken out by that storm. And there were people in the neighborhood in my little area where I live, where the dunes were washed out so bad that they lost their swimming pools. There were like 2 swimming pools that were lost. And because they're built, like the dunes completely, they were like in-ground swimming pools right behind the dunes. And the dune was washed out, and then the swimming pool was just left there. So they lost their pool. And people that have those oceanfront homes, they have their own access points, and the rest of us have to use the public access points, right, that are maintained by the local government. The walkways that are built up and over the dunes so you can get there. But the private homes have their own, right, that go right from the back of their home over the dune with steps down. And a lot of those steps were taken out. And just, it was shocking to me. So I thought, well, I am never going to buy an oceanfront. Like, that had been my dream, to be oceanfront. And I'm like, I don't want to be oceanfront anymore. Because I feel like if I stay here within my lifetime, I could be oceanfront from where I'm at. That seems feasible to me. Like, that seems like it's a very possible reality to me. The erosion was so bad. And when I moved down here, people were like, aren't you worried about about the rising sea levels and this and that. And I was like, well, you got to live somewhere, you know? Like, I have to live somewhere. We all have to live somewhere. There's some kind of disaster that's going to happen everywhere, you know? Like, where I grew up in Western PA, they have tornadoes that take people out, you know? And I lived in California, there were earthquakes. I had never experienced an earthquake before. I was living in Southern California, and we had an earthquake. I didn't even know what was happening. I looked down the hall. I heard this big bang, and my kids were back in the back bedroom, and they screamed. And I looked down the hall, and I saw the floor of the house go like that, like ripple, like a snake. And I was like, what just happened? And I called my neighbor, and I was like, what was that? And they were like, oh, you just experienced your first earthquake, Beth. I was like, oh my God, that was terrifying. I would rather be on the beach and sit through a nor'easter and feel my house shake. There was only one time in my house here, like my house is built on pylons, but and it shakes. You know, the houses are built to like shake and move when there's wind. Just, you know, they're built to do that. They're very stable. But it can, you know, it can be fun to sit in here when the house is shaking. I kind of like it. But there was one time that I was scared, and we had a tornado warning come through, and it was one of those like take cover immediately kind of warnings. And I was scared because I didn't know where to go. I was like, there's no basement here. My house is up on pylons. I don't know what to do. And so I came in here in my office, and I just kind of laid on the floor in between the beds. And yeah. And then I looked out the window, and I saw my neighbor walking by with her dog. And I was like, maybe I'm overreacting. But it was really scary because I was like, I don't know where I would go. I don't know what I would do. And then somebody told me maybe I should go downstairs, like go under the house and get in like the shed under the house and take cover under there. But I don't know. It just feels like if the house crashed down, it would crash on me. But I guess it would be more likely that it would be picked up and blown away, I guess. I don't really know. I still don't know what to do. I still don't know what I would do if a tornado came through here. I don't know. But, you know, when a tornado, you can't get in your car when a tornado's coming. You know, it's not like a hurricane where you have a notice and you have time. Like if a tornado is coming, it's coming. It's right there. You know, we had a tornado when I was living in New York, and they don't normally get tornadoes there. So I grew up in Western PA. So we were taught when we were little what to do if there was a tornado. You know, that you go down to the basement, and where, you know, you just like learn when you're little what to do, and you do tornado drills in school and stuff like that. Well, they don't normally get tornadoes in New York. So these people didn't know what to do, and they like got in their cars. They heard a tornado was coming, and they got in their cars to drive home. Well, that's like the worst thing that you could do. You know, when it's coming and it's there, it's like you take shelter right away. So yeah, I don't know. I'd probably would have to like maybe flip over the couch or flip over a mattress and get under it. Or I was thinking get in the bathtub, you know, in the bathroom or in the hallway. You know, you want to be like away from windows and in like the center of the house, I guess, if you don't have a basement. So I don't know. I still don't know what I would do. I just ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. And then I laid down on the floor. But I was scared. I've never lived somewhere. Yeah. We were so unprepared as a country for the big floods in those areas. People know what to do. Yeah. People know what to do now. I think I'd lay somewhere comfy and pray. Yeah, I was like, I came in here and I just laid down on the floor and I was like, this is the safest place I could think of because it was away from the water. You know, it was like, I'm going to get away from I'm going to get as far away from the ocean side as I can and just get as low as I possibly can. Well, my timer went off. I definitely feel like doing a couple more rounds, though. How are you all feeling? I mean, no one's obligated to stay here that doesn't want to. I worry about you. Oh, Della, that's so sweet. We never know with Mother Nature. I love the colors, like a creamy color. It's very pretty. Yep. That's so sweet. I'm mostly okay. When you hear about a storm coming my way, think about me sitting and crocheting in my big comfy chair, watching Outlander or something else with dragons, or vampires and romance. And, I'll probably, if there's a nice storm, I probably will put something nice in my Instant Pot, like a roast, or I'll roast a chicken in the oven or something like that, or some chili. I'm making some nice warm comfort food. And I'm just hanging out. I'm enjoying it. I'm watching the wind through the window, and I'm sitting feeling the house shake, and I kind of enjoy it. This is so weird. I'm looking at your comments and they seem like they're coming through right now. Maybe they're not. I don't know what I'm looking at. But in the video, the video is like way behind. It's back when I was in the yellow. 16 watching now. Started streaming 101 minutes ago. Yeah, but it's like the stream has not, I don't know what's happening. That is so weird. All right, I am going to do another round. I'm going to set my timer again. Now I'm on the double crochet round, so this is usually when I get bored. And then I make mistakes. But I just want to see the color change. Yeah, that's what I'll tell myself. It's very weird. The technology is really being weird tonight. I almost feel like, now I'm just going to let it change on its own. I was going to say I feel like I want to control the color a little bit, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let the yarn do its thing. Excuse me. I've got to get to the end of this round, then I'm putting it down because it's a color change. Our first tornado warning recently. I had no idea what to do. 1929 single pane windows. Yep, exactly. Well, that's what happened when we lived in New York. And my son was home alone with the 3 dogs. And he didn't know. I wasn't really thinking like that he wouldn't know. You know, I was thinking like, I don't know. I just assumed he knew. And then he was talking about what happened, and I realized like nobody here knows what to do in a tornado. My poor dogs, they were home alone. My son was at work, and he was like, I was trying to get home, and I was like, you're supposed to stay put in a tornado. And he's like, well, I didn't know that. I was craving wild rice soup today. Oh, that sounds really good right now. I have a whole chicken and like 2 chicken carcasses in the freezer. I should definitely make chicken soup. I mean, I'm really wanting it now when we're talking about storms and putting things in the Instant Pot. Like, that's what I do when there's a storm. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make some kind of soup. I'm going to make chicken and rice soup or something like warm and wonderful in the Instant Pot. And I'm going to eat. And I'll have that for, I've lived alone for quite a few years, and I still buy groceries and eat and cook like I have a big family sometimes. I'm like, I'll make a big pot of this and have leftovers. Oh my goodness, I'll eat it for a week and still have a bunch left. I love it when my daughter comes, I can cook a bunch for her and she'll take everything with her. I'm like, take all the leftovers, take all the groceries and leftovers. She will. She'll take eggs. She'll take everything. Like, at least it's not like going to waste, There is only so much room in my freezer. But yeah, sometimes I'll freeze like little individual containers for myself, and then I'll have it to warm up and eat when I'm ready for it, which is great. I like to do broccoli and broccoli chicken soup with cheese, or like I do like a white chicken chili, which is just like a creamy chicken soup. And I like to have it with rice. I love rice. I don't know how we got talking about food, tornadoes and food. It's perfect crochet weather. I have to eat something too, but I don't want to stop crocheting. Yep. Once an hour, set triggers for yourself. Usually I've been kind of just starting the next round, but I do like to set my work down at the end of every row or every round. I mean, that's a good practice. Set your work down, take a pause, and let yourself feel what's going on in your body. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Do you have to pee? Don't ignore that. Give your body what it needs. Stretch your hands, do your lotion or your, massage oil or whatever. Stretch out your hands a little bit, breathe, take some deep breaths, stretch your shoulders, go get a drink, a cup of coffee, and come back. Even though it seems like it's going to make our crocheting take longer, it allows us to crochet for longer. I cook too much sometimes, but now my parents live with me, so I have to keep cooking a lot. Okay. That's good. Yeah, it's the grocery shopping. For me, I'm like, I still grocery shop like I have a family, and it's just me, and I don't actually eat that much. I just haven't recalibrated, I guess. And then sometimes, like, I knew I had a guest last weekend and I knew she was coming. It's been planned for a while. So like in the weeks leading up to her visit, I did not buy groceries. I was like, I'm going to eat whatever is here. And I just ate whatever was in the house. And I was down to like, you know, like I was down to, you know, the stuff you keep on hand, but you're like, nah, I don't want that. You know, like the tins of sardines and stuff like that. I was down to like rice and sardines or eggs, rice and eggs, you know, and I was like, I'm just going to eat what I have plenty of food here on hand, and I will, you know, wait until right before she's coming, and then I'll get groceries. So I'll have nice like sandwich stuff and, you know, all that. That's what I did. And then at the end of this month, I'm going to be traveling a little bit. So I'm not going to be home. So I'm going to try and eat up everything I have and leave my fridge empty at the end of the month. I'm back to the yellow. I did. I'm on round 5. Just make sure you have some long life essentials for when you get home, like a long life milk. Yeah. Yep. I like Hormel chili. I usually keep a little Hormel chili on hand and eat that with rice and coffee and some coffee creamer. I don't like being away a long time. I don't like leaving my beach house at all. I feel sad when I leave it. Like, hello, goodbye. No coffee for me until I could do an Uber Eats. Well, where I live, I don't have Uber Eats. I don't have Uber Eats. I don't have DoorDash. I don't have any of that. And to be honest, it's been really good for me because when I was living in New York, I did Uber Eats all the time, DoorDash all the time. All the time. It's so expensive. So I actually save a lot of money on groceries because of the way I eat. And I'm just not a big eater, you know. I cannot even get a pizza. I have to go call and go pick it up. And then they're not, you know, in the off season, nobody's open. A lot of things aren't open. the pizza place closes for the entire winter. Some of these places completely close down at the, mid-October. They close down and there's nothing out here. There's nothing going on. A couple restaurants in a bad flare up, and I couldn't get to the shop over the road. Oh no. I'm in North Carolina. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, I think it was nice that DoorDash was available during the pandemic. It helped a lot of places stay open. A lot of people keep their, keep jobs and be able to work and all that. And it was nice to be able to order food and order groceries and do all of that when we couldn't shop. And honestly, sometimes I miss the convenience of it, but a lot of the time it was just kind of a pain to have to order your groceries and have somebody else pick it out for you. Certain stuff wouldn't be available and they would substitute. It's like, ugh, this isn't really what I wanted. Exactly. Hey, Ariana, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm making this 6-day star blanket. I'm on round 5. This looks like, I think this is my 3rd round 5. It's my 2nd round 5. You're on your 4th round 5. Nice. I don't know if I'll work on this one off camera or not. I definitely know that I'm going to start my Superstar and Supernova off camera so that I'm not just repeating those same rounds that are the same as the star blanket over and over. So like this one, I could still make this one the Supernova if I wanted to. I still haven't reached the point where I would change for the Supernova. Okay, I would have one more round after this, and then I would change for the Supernova. So I think I will probably get my Supernova going to this point, and I'll start it on round 7A. So that way I could do, you know, it'll be more interesting. Otherwise, you're just watching me do the star blanket again. You know what I'm saying? So I think when I do the superstar, I'm gonna do rounds 1 through 8, set up rounds 1 through 8 off camera, and just come in on and set up round 9, which is where it's, you know, where it starts to be different than the 60 star blanket, and work it from there. That's how I'll do it. And then the supernova, I'll go off camera, like to this point. Excited to see the supernova. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm not gotten around to even exploring it. I think that the my favorite of the star blankets is actually the superstar. It's the most fun to do. And I think the reason I like it, thank you so much, Artistic Soul. How are you today? I think the reason I like it is because the points don't get really big like this. So I get bored when these, you know, start getting up into like these high counts of double crochet. You started your blanket? That's great. How's it going? I'm almost at the repeat round. All right. Nice. Very good. Make sure you tag me so I can see it, okay? Make sure that you sign up for Star Blanket September so you can get that free hat pattern following the video and the written patterns, which is a huge help. I'm glad you find it helpful. Yes, I love seeing what you all make. I really do. I sincerely do. I'm so excited to make the hat. It's a little goofy, I think. Good night, Subrosa's Kitchen. Hey, Carol Webster. I love goofy. My term is quirky. I didn't really know if it will take off. I mean, it's like, it seems like a people seem to either love it or hate it. I'm obsessed. I'm going to make so many. I already know. It is an obsession. It is very addictive. I'm just working out whether to use plain or patterned yarn. Oh, for the hat? Well, I'll say this. I saw somebody who made it. Theirs looked pretty small. There's no way to really upsize it. So I would say if you have a larger head, you might want to use like a 5 weight yarn and not a 4 like me. I have a very small head. You have a tiny head. You'll be good with worsted then. Okay, I started another round. I think I said I wasn't going to, but I can't stop. I just want to keep going. Like, I have to get a kid's bike helmet. Yes, me too. When I was a dance major at the University of Hawaii, I had to wear a hat for a dance one time, and they said, go down to the costume shop and get blah, blah, blah kind of hat. And so I went down to the costume shop and I said, I have a very small head. I probably need a child's hat. And they were like, no, 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 no. They never believed us. They body shamed us, the costume department, and at where I did my degree. They body shamed me so badly. And they were just so rotten to us dancers and treated us like we were idiots. And they were like, no, 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 no. We'll put felt inside of it, or we'll put foam, or we'll put this, or we'll put that. You're fine. We'll get you one. And they go back, they grab a hat from the adult section, and I'm swimming in it. I'm swimming in this hat. And they're like, we'll put felt around it, or we'll do this. And I'm like, it's not going to stay on. I have to dance in it. I have to roll around. It's not going to stay on my head. Trust me, we'll fix it so it stays on your head. And they tried like 3 or 4 different hats on me. They were all huge. They came down over my eyes. I couldn't even stand there with the hat on, let alone dance. And I was like, I need a child size. Don't you have any child size hats? And finally, after like, several tries, they're like, all right, well, look, they go back, they get a child's hat. What do you know? It fits. Oh my goodness. Big fat fatty couldn't possibly have a small head or need a kid size hat. Oh, they were awful. They were just awful. They ordered me like a size 4X dress one time, and I was about half the size I am now. And they said, that's what your measurements. That's where your measurements. And I had this, they put me in this dress, and I was literally swimming in the dress. I looked horrible in it. And oh my God. Yeah, they altered it, but it was like this whole thing about how they had to cover me up because I was so big. Ridiculous. My girlfriend wears a size 4 ring, and she tried to get one resized. Yep. Like, you don't know, right? Like, you don't know your own body, and they just acted like they were just so body shaming right in front of me. Right in front of me. It was, like, hey, I started on the 6-day star blanket yesterday, having only learned to crochet last week, and made a couple beanies. It's a huge step up. I'm enjoying it, but it's a huge step up in projects. Well, good for you for trying. That's good. You will, when you finish this project, you will feel very accomplished. And the 6-day kid blanket is easy, but it is not really a beginner project. So just give yourself some space and time and breathe. And don't worry about completing in 6 days. Just give yourself lots of grace. Okay, you're just learning. A beginner doing this blanket, it is possible, but it is, like you said, a big step up. It's a big step up. Also, amigurumi. People will say, oh, I've done lots of amigurumi. It's not really, it's very different. I almost feel like amigurumi is like a completely different craft almost from crochet. Okay. It's not, having done a lot of amigurumi does not prepare you to do, a blanket or something of this nature. It just means you're very, you're advanced at amigurumi. I'm useless at amigurumi. I'm not interested in it. It doesn't interest me. It's not something I care to do. But sometimes when people come to this pattern and they try to do it and they're like, I'm by no means a beginner crocheter. I've done lots of amigurumi. Well, but that's different from this. Amigurumi is different. You need to know how to single crochet, double crochet, and chain. And you know, follow a pattern, follow a follow a pattern, I have a good video. On my list of things to do this weekend is to make a good tutorial video for the remaining setup rounds and repeat rounds of the Superstar for you. Never even tried it. There's so much to learn crochet wise. I'd rather just stick to it. It just depends on your interests, you know, like some people really enjoy crocheting amigurumi. And that's, you know, that's great. I'm definitely not saying anything against it. I'm just saying it's different from doing, you know, a pattern that has different stitches and shape, different types of shaping and stuff. Would love to be good at it. I love the idea of making toys for RAOK. I'm not sure what that is. And gifts, but the spiraling and counting hurts my brain. Last year I started with amigurumi and then random squares. This year I started knitting. Oh, cool. I love knitting. This is such a cheery, oh, okay, random acts of kindness. Gotcha. Such a cheery blanket. Very cheerful. And everybody's going to say, autumn vibes, autumn vibes. I like the whole Sandcastle. I like the Sandcastle name. Senna Sandcastle. Paddington Bear for my church pastor drives 70 miles each week to take me to church. Oh my goodness. Wow. It makes me think of summer. I think it is more summery. Yeah, honestly, the amount of frogging I had to do was mental. Yeah, I'm just not interested in doing it. I've done it before. Well, for one thing, I don't like sewing things together. I don't like repeating the same stitches. I don't like counting. And I don't have any need for a stuffed animal. Oh, there's my timer. I've been on here a long. It's 10 o'clock. I prefer flat in the round joins and garments. I like seamless. These are the rounds I always mess up because I'm talking. Well, I mean, I'm talking the whole time, but it's the repetitive double crochet because I don't count when I do it. I know some people enjoy counting. I'm not knocking it. And I'm not knocking amigurumi either. It's just not my, it doesn't hit the buttons for me. It doesn't scratch the itch. I love double crochet. I just love the rhythm of it. It reminds me of tap dancing or something. Like a time step, you know. That's what it reminds me of, a time step in tap dance. How far do I have to go? I'm not even halfway around this round. I shouldn't have started enough. Oh, wait, yes, I am. I have 3 more points. I shouldn't have started another round. Blankets all day, every day. Yeah. Making a lovely jumper from Repeat Crafter Me that's seamless and mainly double crochet. Yeah, I like seamless. Hi, David. Thank you so much. Random Granny Square. I've been doing more garments lately too, and I'm really itching to do more garments. Star blanket skirt, you got it. I really actually did want to do a 6-day kid blanket skirt because I was thinking the other day, I was like, oh, it would be nice to just have like a skirt blanket, I could just throw one right now. I've already done a 6-day hexagon cardigan. That pattern's free on my site. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the peppers and the heart. I appreciate it. Doing the poppy cardigan by Evelyn and Peter. Yeah, I'd like to do another cardigan, and I'd like to do some shrugs. I have some shrug patterns, but they probably need revisited because they're old. And I get some comments on them, like people don't understand them. They struggle with them. So I think I'm going to revisit those next month. I'm still on the cheer squad for socks. I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, so I think after Star Blanket September, I'm going to be shifting gears and doing some garments, hats and scarves and shrugs and sweaters, and there might be a poncho in the near future. I've been on a knit beanie kick. Oh, how fun. Oh my God, so random they showed up on my FYP. I just set down my Superstar blanket for the night. Wow. Also trying to finish a C2C blanket. I'm working on a 6-day C2C design in my membership community. I have my super fans over there. I call them my advisory committee, my advisory council, and a couple of them are working up the C2C. I have it all written up, but I'm not sure it works. So there are some people who are really excited about it, and they've started working it up, and that's what happens. People get excited about my patterns and they like want them right away, and they're willing to like work them up for me. I also have a pattern there that's like a modular pattern that has octagons and squares, 6-day octagons and 6-day squares that fit together. And the whole thing's written up. I just have not ever made a sample of it myself to get it out there. I have the yarn sitting by my chair, but I never want to work on it. I always pick up something else, but I have it like all written up. And there's like one person over there who's like pretty much done the whole thing or most of it. And we have it all figured out that it works. I just never worked it up. And I have another blanket pattern also that is all written up, but and the sample has been worked up and photographed, and I just haven't published it. Yeah, just like crocheters have whips, works in progress, I have design whips everywhere, and a ton of them. And I have a list of them that I am determined to get out before the end of the year. I want to do the 6-day rectangle blanket you just did. Just need to finish. Yeah, it's called the Great Granddaddy. The 6-day Great Granny is the square, the continuous granny square. And the 6-day Great Granddaddy is the rectangle. And then the Daddy-O is the one I did with Noro. I think starting with the white and going backwards was the right call. What do y'all think? Okay, so this is the last round. If you were doing a 6-day supernova, you would work it just like the 6-day star up to this round that I'm on right here. So this would be the last round you would do. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Maybe it's one more. I better stop saying it because I'm not exactly sure I'm right. I gotta look at the pattern. Hey, I'm making the same pattern with neon stripes red heart. I bet that looks really good. That yarn is really cool, worked up in 6-day stuff. Yep, I think it's time to stop. My fingers are saying enough. Working on a blanket that looks like the carpet in The Shining. Oh my gosh. I'm super excited. I'm 2 skeins in. I'm excited for you. Y'all make sure you tag me when you post your makes so I can cheer you on and I can repost them for you. I mean, I don't have that many followers, but still, I like reposting the smaller accounts and, helping you guys get your reach and get your blankets seen. It is so pretty, isn't it? It's just gorgeous. And look at that. Look at the drape. It's really soft. It's really soft. It feels really nice. I want to get the whole thing in there, but there's just really no way to do it. That looks nice. Wow. I'm almost at round 6 of my 4th repeat, and if I have my knees up, it fits over my lap perfectly. Wow. How often do you go live? I want to be here for the next video. So I normally don't really go live on a schedule, but this month I'm doing, like my version of Stash Bus September, and I'm doing Star Blanket September. So I have all my lives scheduled out in my in TikTok, so you could just register for them. You could also go to the link in my bio and sign up for 6 days Star Blanket September, and sign up for my emails, and you'll get reminders, and it has the schedule, and it also has some fun freebies. Like I did a 6-day, my hat here. I did a 6-day Star crown hat. Here it is. Looks like a crown. You can't see me. Here's the hat. It should be right on my profile. It should say live event, and you can just go in and register for it. And yeah, but if you go to the link in my bio and sign up for Star Blanket September, and when you put your email in, then it'll give you a link to download this hat. And then I'm sending emails with just like reminders, schedule, the replay links, pattern links, and the link to this hat, which you'll get when you sign up. And then I also have a yesterday or today, or I don't know what day it was that I did this, but I have a little cheat sheet card with the counts on it that you can download to help you with your 6-day Star Blanket. And I, just like different tips and tricks. And I'm working hard. I'm working hard for this. Star Blanket actually looks a bit different than mine, but very pretty. This is the 6-day Star Blanket. Do I sign up for that too, or am I signed up already? I don't know, Andrew. Do you get my emails? Also, everything I put in an email, like all that stuff I just said, it's all in the McKnitiverse. So if you're still in the McKnitiverse, then you have all of that. The Betty McKnitiverse membership community, and all this stuff that I just mentioned is there. Just noticing I missed some things. I just went over to the McKnitiverse. I missed some things that were happening over there. Apparently no Zoom link was available. I'm pretty sure I put it in there, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, if you go, actually, I think I posted an article in there. And if you go to like Discover, there's an article. I think it says like September Joy or something like that. Round 5 complete. Time for bed now, 3:15 a.m. I cannot do another 3 a.m. Oh my goodness. Della says candy corn. Candy corn. Looks like candy corn. It's cute. Amigurumi is fun, but that's my partner's department. I want to make things I can wear or use. Yeah. Yes, it was nice seeing you. All right, everyone. I'm going to take off and see if I can fix some of these technology issues. And I'm sorry for the problems that we had tonight and any inconvenience that caused. Okay. Bye. See you tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Bye. Bye, TikTok. Wait, I don't know how to end it.